My dudes, what's going on? If you want a chance to get your IdleOn account reviewed, make sure to head over to twitch.tv/GriffyBit. Make sure to follow and look for when I go live with account reviews in the title for your chance to enter the giveaway to get reviewed and end up on one of my YouTube videos. Anyways, let's get into it. My dudes, what's going on? Today we are looking at Gertraz's account. He actually needs help on something a little bit different. He needs help on maximizing his kill per hour potential in Gmush for money and also potentially farming out those nasty God Shard bars. So we'll be taking a look mostly into how to increase that through the means of multi-kill, kill per kill, and things adjacent. So let's take a look. Obviously, whenever you're wanting to farm out Gmush, I always strongly suggest to do it with your 3 archer classes, which will be your Beastmaster and your 2 Siege Breakers. And as we can see here, he has... Oh, he's running a 4 warrior class. So he only has 2 archers, which isn't a big deal. It honestly isn't. It's not a huge deal. It's you lose a little bit of your potential when it comes up to, for the most part, just making sure you get your God Shard bars rolling. But it's not huge. So mostly when it comes to when it comes to especially Gmush kill potential is damage. Damage is king because you want to hit those multi-kill per tiers, because Gmush is one of the only ones where you can get to the max amount, which I believe is 50, 52 or 54 multi-kill tiers. So that's definitely the first thing. And once you can start hitting the 52 times cap, that also means that you get into the point where you can start running Fiber of Absence because you can't get any higher multi-kill per tier for that specific area. So a lot of that will help greatly with talents. Talents is super massive. So I'm just going to quickly run through the talents that will really help you boost you up for the things that you want to book. So Sharpened Axe, Gilded Sword, same for both, super fantastic. And of course, idle shooting on both sides. This is definitely something that you want. This definitely just scales it up. Obviously, Featherweight wouldn't be too bad, but you don't really need to do it for the sole fact that you're just getting above the percentage that you need for the kills per hour. Anyways, I believe it's 200% until the AFK start counting so much. Lava might have changed it, but when I last checked, that's as much as you want to go. Yeah, sorry, it's 51 times tiers. It doesn't roll over to 52. For both, you can go Piercing Arrow. Kung Fu Kick is always nice to have, but it's not necessarily necessary. Strafe, definitely Hema Overdrive is going to be for, you know, the more damage from big meaty claws, and also, you know, to get that rolling good times. Have Another is not really necessary, but it's also just nice to have in general. Veins of Infernal, super massive, super good. Garbs of an Aging, absolutely. High Polymer Limbs, for sure. Those are the ones that really matter in this section for the most part. Once we start getting to the Archers and the Beastmasters, the ones that you're going to really want to work on is Homing Arrow. These ones are okay, like Magic Shortbow and Flax Instring. They're fine, I guess, but they don't really do too much for AFK games, but all the amounts, as much as you get, the better. Well, that's fast is all right. Speed DNA is a must. This will give you so much damage, plus stacking with Quick Slap is going to absolutely make this skyrocket. Same with Shifty statues. You want to make sure you get Shifty because more movement speed means more damage. Obviously, getting Agi again is just good for more agility, and you basically want to build as lot of main stat as possible, because once we start getting into the elite class, that's when you start getting the kill per kill based off how much agi you actually have, which is very, very strong. A lot of people sleep on it, but it's actually really good. Same with this 360 no scope, bear trap, uber rar, all super solid. Stop right there. It's not really a big deal. Looty McShooty, super insane. Definitely want to do that 100%. Shoe full of obel, same deal. You want to level that up so you have the main stat to get that going. And obviously straight shot statues for quick slap, also very good. And agi again, same reason. And then once we start getting into here, this is when we're going to start looking at things. Now, this is what I was talking about. Stacked skulls. You get kill per 1,000 agility. Each kill is worth more kills. This is actually really good. This is super strong. Definitely something you want to make sure that it's maxed, because when it comes down to Gmush, it is mid-maxing everything that you can possibly get, because multi-kill will only get you so far. But if you have a kill per kill stacked on top of that, it just makes it way more. I think right now I don't remember the last time I did Gmush kills, but I think I was around 54 million per hour. So knowing that going forward, it could be really, really beneficial. Cannonball, suppressing fire, firebomb, all of those are good. Those all go towards, AFK gains. Crew rowing strength is, it's okay, I guess. It's just more weapon power. It doesn't scale as high as you want it to. And of course, Symbols of Beyond, super insane. Got to have that max no matter what. Family Guy is also not bad. And same for here. Ballista, Boar Rush, Whale Wallop is a must. Nacho Party's okay. All that goes for Stack Skulls again. Animalistic Ferocity, kind of the same deal with Crew Strength, Family Guy, and then, of course, Symbols of Beyond again. Getting those done will give you a super, super big boost into your pushing capabilities. Also, making sure you got your V-Man with his Master of the Systems for the multi-kill per tier per 5 maps is super, super good. Don't sleep on that. Also, if you get some Eternal Agi is also very strong for you as well. And also getting Voodoo Statuification, because that also goes towards your speedy statues for more movement speed. And once you have those Onyxed, that's even more into Quick Slap. So those are and then as we're going over here for the star talents, the ones that you want to make sure that you want to have is going to be obviously Attack on Simmer. This will increase it even more. TikTok, super, super good. Hemoglobin doesn't really matter for this one because you're only doing Gmush. Also, a very, very nice one to have. Dungeonic Damage, Mega Crit, they're okay. But what you really want to focus on is Stat Overload, which is great for the extra stats. Thick dummy stats for also more stats. AFK gains for random looting, Filthy Damage. But the biggest one is Monolithism, because this is also multi-kill per unique Onyx statue to have. This is also giving it even more than what you currently have. And you are missing a star talent point. You're missing a star talent. What is it? It's the one for, it's, am I stupid? Oh, here it is. Frothy Milk. Yes. Frothy Milk is the other one that you want to have max. Farm out your Baba Yaga, because Frothy Milk also goes into your speed pots. Your speed pots is also Quick Slap. Quick Slap, you'd be amazed of how, although Lava nerfed Quick Slap, it's still a really strong bubble to have. It may got nerfed to the ground, but it's not at a point where it's completely useless, because if you have Quick Slap high enough with all of your speed pots, it will actually, believe it or not, it will outscale most of your base damage pots, which is kind of funny for the grand scheme of things. So that we have that, let's take a look. Okay. Right off the get-go, instantly looking at obols, all multi-kill obols except for your sparkles. Your sparkles are going to be crux. So you're just going straight multi-kill, and if you manage to get these obols, these Hyper Skull obols, definitely 100 and 110%, those are going to be the superior, because the base ones are just multi-kill. These ones are multi-kill per tier. These are going to be super, super juiced out for you. So whenever you're farming, you want personal family, your personal is going to be all multi-kill plus crux. And then for your family, it's going to be all multi-kill plus crux. Both of them are going to be the exact same. You would be amazed of how much extra multi-kill you can get from it. Also, make sure to roll the plus 1% for that multi-kill to just get up a little bit more. So moving into World 1, the specific stamps that you want to be tackling here is definitely you want to make sure that your multi-kill stamp is nice and high. You got 52 base multi-kill rate for all worlds. These don't scale as much, but every little bit counts. But that's mostly like the main one. Potion stamp would be fantastic to start going up, start building up more of that damage stat. And Golden Apple stamp never hurts at all as well. Definitely make sure you got that going. But I think for the most part, those are the really stamps that matter. There isn't really a kill per kill stamp to help you out a little bit. Obviously, main stat stamps are also really huge as well. You really want to try to feed into that stack skull stacks, because that's when you're starting to build really, really good kill per kill. And obviously, total damage percents. But I mean, we already know that. Moving into World 2, bubbles. The very, very specific bubbles that you want, okay? These are, as I could see here, they're a little low, but these bubbles will be crazy. Mr. Massacre, get that shit to 95%, okay? You get that to 95%, and you will be cooking. You will get so many kills per hour just because of this, but I've realized something by just looking at your account right off the get-go. You got a lot of love that you need to do with alchemy. In the end, it all comes down to alchemy. And of course, alchemy, 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 alchemy. We all know it. It's what it always is. But this is a completely, personally, a very, very underrated bubble. Well, actually, no, not at all. I take the back. The other bubble is underrated that I'm going to be talking about next. But Mr. Massacre is a very good bubble. It's a multi-kill per tier. It's juiced out. You want this. You don't. You want to make sure this is 95% potency. Right now, it's at 71%. Get that going. You're going to see huge gains very quickly. Now, the underrated bubble is the kill per kill bubble. This bubble is actually, it's not huge. It's not crazy. But it is good. It all of this counts because in the end, you're trying to min-max. That's the whole point of it. Kill per kill bubble is juicy. So the sooner that you get up this to 95% is the sooner the better. Absolutely fantastic. Also, a good bubble to have is Big P. Kind of off topic a little bit, but Big P, you know, it's just good. I love it, dude. It's great. The Big P, nothing wrong with it. Just always get that up no matter what. And I believe for those are the two really big bubbles. Obviously, you're going to want the multiplier bubbles and the base bubbles, yada, yada, yada. But those are the two bubbles that you're really, really going to focus on for the most part. Is, you know, get your Big P, your Mr. Massacre, and your kill per kill. Those three will really just benefit you all around. And you will never go wrong with ever getting those. Looking at vials here, a big one. Would be what you want to get is the, where is it? Yes, Frigid Souls. Slow energy drink. The Frigid Soul one is great. Fantastic for base multi-kill. Another one, if you're planning on active farming Gmush, which I don't really suggest, but if you are planning on doing it, seawater doesn't hurt. Seawater's always a nice one to go for just because whenever the times that you are actually just going for active farming, it's definitely something that you want to get. Going into sigils. Seems like your sigils are doing pretty good. Of course, obviously get your agi up. Just going to be nice all around. I see you've been working mostly on it. I mean, yeah, I would personally like to see you working on your water to make sure that you can get even more rather than working on, because you're not at that point in summoning yet where because summoning skyrockets sigils. So I rather wait to see people actually start working on summoning before they do their sigil grind, because it makes it 3 times faster. But for the most part, I mean, that's fine. I mean, obviously, as long as you get AFK gains, that's all that matters. Oh, you're done? Oh, you're done summoning? Okay, then I take it back. Take it back what I said, then keep on working on that then. That is fine. That is good. But basically, how it works is the main things that you want to work on are going to be mob respawn. Wait, you have tortoise? Is Torto in there? Yeah, sigil speed is really good for that. So what it really is going to come down to it is mob respawn, kill per kill, times 2 kills, which is the same, but that's like Killer Brightside and the Mantis. AFK gains. AFK gains is massive, but you kind of need to test between the two. You need to test to see whether what's going to give you more benefit, either the AFK gains or the mob respawn, right? You kind of have to flip between the two to see which ones you like. So if we take a look here, we go to, obviously the thing is like you're not gonna be looking to get 54 million, but I could see with the account that I'm looking at right now, just to see where you're at, I could see you getting, with the work that you could do, I could see you probably hitting maybe 20 mil, close maybe, maybe 12 to 15 if you're trying to rush it a little bit. So let's go ahead. How's your death note? Death note's a huge thing, by the way. I would strongly suggest to make sure to get Eclipse Skulls on every World 1 mob before you go back for green mushrooms, just because it's just extra multi-kill. you just can't not love it. It's a lot of extra multi-kill. So definitely getting those all Eclipse first is going to be nothing but beneficial to you. And okay, and Salt Lick, of course, we need to take a look at that to make sure that you have that maxed out. Okay, multi-kill rate for all worlds. Perfect. That's great. We're pretty much looking good for that. And obviously, we got to make sure that your buildings, Death Note's maxed out. Perfect. That's excellent. Yes, Eclipse is 1 billion. Correct. You want to make sure you get 1 billion on each individual creature. That'll make your life a little bit easier. Now, World 4, cooking. This is where you're going to get a lot of your damage from. It's very, very, very potent. So we're just going to take a look here. 60, 60, 58, 58. Wow, you're actually going really good here. Wow, you're I'm not going to lie, it's not bad. Your cooking's actually pretty good. Obviously, you haven't hit really those next bonuses yet, of course, but overall it's looking nice. Definitely can't complain. Unfortunately, a lot of this doesn't really help for your multi-kill or anything, but it's just good to look at to see where you're at. Because a lot of it's going to be the total damage percent is what you're actually looking for. So you got the total, you got the massive fig, basically. You got everything that you could possibly need. Awesome. You're missing out the burnt mushroom. Ah, yes, Yumi Peach Ring. Fantastic. You want that. Total damage from plum cakes. Great. Breeding. Shinies. How are your shinies looking? Yeah, so multi-kill per tier right here from the baby boas. You go ahead and take some time, do a little bit of farming action on this guy. A little bit of Beastmaster farming. Work on a little bit of your multi-kill per tier. Even if you only do like level 5 or level 10, you got to realize, think about it this way, okay? Think about it this way. If you got to level 5, okay? And that's multi-kill per tier. So that would be 5% multi-kill per tier. And then you times that by 50 because how many damage tiers that you'd end up getting. So now you would have 250%, which is 2.5 extra kills for a little bit of extra time on Baby Boa. That's big. That's big if you put it into the grand scheme of things. 2.5 kills on top of what you already have to get. It all adds up. It's all very important. Same with same right here. Another multi-kill percent right there. Very, very good. Must have. So rats, definitely good on that one. So basically you need to go through and just, okay, you're missing out on some stuff. Basically just need to go through and find all the multi-kill per tier ones and, you know, do a little bit of that. Like even blokes right here, multi-kill per tier, super disgusting. You're missing out on like very, very small multi-kill per tiers that would honestly just start skyrocketing you. Okay. Very, very, very good. Now, let's get into the bread and the butter of a lot of this stuff. Zerg Rushogen needs to be maxed. Fantastic. You have it maxed. AFK gains. That's awesome. That's what you want to see. Next big one is going to be your Balance of Pain. Awesome. You have that maxed as well. That's great. That's exactly what you want. Your next thing, Beefy. You want to make sure Beefy is max as well because Beefy will give you, it doesn't give you tons of damage, but it gives you a good enough amount of damage, especially when you're at Gmush. You literally don't need any help at Gmush. And when you finally get to that 51 tier to 52 tier, you want to make sure you max out Fiber of Absence, okay? Because Fiber's Absence, once you have enough damage, you can nerf your damage to give you more kills because your damage can only go to a certain point where it becomes absolutely useless. It's because you know how I was talking about the damage tiers? Those damage tiers where you get up to 51, you need to have a set amount of damage to reach that point at the first place. So all that excess damage after the 51 tiers actually doesn't matter. So then you can just nerf the shit out of your damage if you can still maintain the 51 times, and you will actually end up getting more kills per hour. That's what I have to do on my Siegebreaker because he gets enough kills, or because he gets enough damage. So that's definitely something you want to work towards, is getting the Fiber of Absence ready. Also, Fiber of Absence is just really nice to have if a new Rift comes out and you can't hit multi-kill in the first place. I feel like a lot of people actually sleep on this prayer, and this prayer is actually really good. It's just super situational. But if you know how to use it in a situation, it is very, very good. But yeah, so this is like the bread and butter of when it comes down to Gmush farming. That's how you really just kind of push the envelope a little bit. Lab, of course, always make sure whenever you're farming lab, Killer Brightside, my first chemistry set, because this is doubling multi-kill for vials. You know, make sure you have all of this no matter what. All these bonuses are very, very important. I mean, it's just, you just can't live without it. Obviously, too, if you want to make sure your shrines are always there. The mob respawn shrine is absolutely the GOAT. Now let's take a look at sailing here. Let's see how you're doing. Artifacts main is quadrupled, so that means you have Sovereign. Yeah, all this is Sovereign, right? Sovereign, 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 and this is Eldritch. So if we take a look, anything that really points out to me. It's got the damage, perfect. This one would be nice to have for the sigils. It'd be kind of good, not gonna lie. Fury Relic, always a W. So the fact that you have that's even better. Crystal Stake, you're missing. Ooh, Crystal Stake would be nice and juicy for this one. Even Giant's Eye at your point in time would be. Well, actually, I mean, I don't even think you need that right now. You need to work on your breeding is what you actually need to do. And this stuff all right here, all of this is good. Even the Winter Boats was fantastic. Does Tribulite work? Yes. Tribulite, you need that ASAP. That's also a very huge one. Getting that to Sovereign is very, very good. Make sure you get Divinity. Make sure you're always running. Since you don't have Doot, unfortunately, it kind of sucks because you lose out on a ton of AFK gains, which is lame as balls, but it is what it is. You're missing like 30% AFK gains. But you want to be running Mantis because Mantis will end up outscaling the 30% AFKs, which is good in the long term. So definitely want to run Mantis over Snake. If you could get Doot, what should you run with Doot? You don't need to run anything with Doot because you have them all. The only thing that you need to have with Doot is make sure one person's on permip, and that's it. So I believe this eventually gets to a point where it might outscale Nubisect, but I think you're not at that point where it will outscale it. But that at that kind of time, when you get to that certain point, that's where you need to really check, because obviously you get more AFK gains based off the level, I'm pretty sure, as it works for the Divinity. The higher Divinity level, the more AFK gains you get. But definitely want to make sure that that Mantis will always stay ahead of Snake Step. Or you could just get Doot, make your life a living breeze. Slab is also important. It gives you a lot of good looted items, gives you a lot of good bonuses. But other than that, you're looking pretty good. How's your gaming, by the way? Not bad. Super Bits. Max Evolution. All spices. Good. I mean, you basically have everything, so you're looking pretty good. Divinity. Yeah, sorry. No, sorry. I was thinking of something else. Yes, sorry. It stays at 30%. My bad. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I was speaking absolute fucking nonsense. Yeah, so Mantis will basically always outscale it. How's your Tom? Top 25%, eh? It's not bad. 25% isn't horrible. I can't complain about that. But yeah, definitely get that Agi up. I mean, you got a lot of stuff you're working on, obviously. It's going to take you a while, but thank you. So you got basically the same setup. I mean, you should be running. So if you're pushing your characters, yeah, sorry, it's the goat. Sorry, I got it mixed up. It's the goat god that gives you more AFK gains, but it doesn't matter because you don't have Dupe. Sorry, I misspoke there. I knew one gave you more AFK gains, but I just forgot which one it was. So usually for this, you want to have a beads and scarf, or the veil, sorry. That's what you want to be farming. I see you're farming floor 5, but you eventually want to replace those. And you usually, instead of running bomb, you run double lotus. Because when you put 2 beads together, it's an additive. But when you put a bead and a silk veil together, it's a multiplicative stealth increase. So having those 2 together makes it really good. But putting 2 of the same together is bad. So keep that in mind when going forward. And it doesn't hurt to get these up a little bit. Jade Emporium, everything looks pretty good for the most part here. Oh yeah, you're cooking. Absolutely cooking. You're almost at ionized sigils as well. Okay, perfect. That's great. There's no gemstones. I don't think he's not at the next mastery. He still has got level 40 and level 30 bombs. There's no way he's at the next mastery. Okay, boom, boom, boom. That's all right. Charms. Oh yeah, that sucks. Okay, so charms are pretty good. Are you missing the one that you need? I mean, 50% golden food is good. Bonus on stamps is always solid. But if you do have the one, you're missing bubblegum law. Bubblegum law is actually really good. This is of course it's the one that you don't have, but yeah, bubblegum law is really, really, really good. So if you could potentially roll that, you're gonna be in a good spot. You're summoning, you are done summoning. You literally have all of summoning. So that's, you got 9 times shiny XB. I mean, you're looking good. You're looking good all around. So the last thing I want to look is, so overall, obviously, sorry I didn't write everything down as I usually do. I just kind of, there's a lot to unpack here. The last thing I want to take a look is I just want to take a look at your equipment, okay? Because your equipment also matters a lot. Okay, so you are running Kruk. Okay, that's fine. Kruk is okay. Kruk is definitely not an issue. Here, let's add this. Okay. Definitely can't complain on that one. Kruk is totally fine for the most part, I guess. That pennant though, yeah, that pennant's brutal. I'm almost positive that the deathly cluster will actually outscale the hollow pendant, but what you should be going for is the divine scarf. The divine scarf is something that you need to farm because that is way too much AFK gains to scoff at. So usually how it's going to work, okay, is going forward. I don't know if you have this or not. Yeah, by the way, the hollow pendant is additive. What I suggest, okay, is if you can, wait, do you have, okay, you do have mob respawn. So you're running full Kruk, which is good. That's totally fine. Kruk isn't a big deal. You have the Kruk weapon as well. That's also fine. You want to have either the deathly cluster pendant, or you definitely want the divine scarf. The divine scarf literally makes your day. Emperor Obols, you need your Emperor Obols because they also help with the kill per kill. You actually, if you can, midnight stopwatches in some scenarios actually end up scaling higher. You're gonna just have to test it out when it really comes down to it. Also, the trophy needs to probably be replaced by divine or nothing trophy. I know the nothing trophy. Yeah, but it need, that's probably better. For the cape, you could go golden rose or the stopwatch. You can also go gladiator if you can't hit your tiers as well. That's also a possibility. So golden rose or the angel wings, or the best in slot is the stopwatch on your back, which is very, very good. Definitely something that you want to run because that's going to give you all your AFK gains you could ever possibly need. You have the right name tag on. The Island Adventure name tag is probably one of the best ones to have, so you're pretty good. Yes, you want the Sleepy Snoozer premium hat for the AFK gains. And when it comes down to your keychains, you either want to go, if you have high rolled AFK gains, it usually outscales the mob respawn. But if you manage to buy the mob respawn keychains that were in that limited time shop that one time that gave you 20% mob respawn, most of the time it will actually outscale at least one of those keychains because it's a lot of mob respawn, depending if you have the keychain doubler on or not. Obviously, these need a little bit of love, but it's not a big deal. These are just stat 6. You're going to be wanting to run more speed pots. You're probably going to be running 4 speed pots, or even less if you want. Golden dumplings, 100%. Definitely want grilled nom cheese, and I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Just speed pots, grilled nom cheese, and the golden dumplings. Definitely is a help to easily build that up. I don't think you need another thing of food. I'm not remembering correctly. I'm not 100% on that, but I think those are the only types of foods that you need. Now, since chat brought up a really good thing. Oh yes, kebabs. Sorry. Yes, you also need kebabs. Kebabs are really good because they're their own separate thing. Yeah, so you can replace one of your smaller speed pots for kebabs if you have enough. Yeah, always make sure you're hitting speed cap no matter what. Now, okay, so the really big cards do you have? Ooh. So you're missing two. You're missing two of the game's strongest cards. Okay. Multi-kill per tier at 120%. Insane. Multi-damage multiplicative. Insane. Both of these are nasty. You can roll them, great. If you can't, it is what it is. You need to max out. You need to get Amarok to 4-star, if not 5-star. That is your fighting AFK gains. Same as your Boop. More fighting AFK gains. Also your Blighted Cheezor. This is giving you more agility, so you're able to get more kills per hour. You do got the Samurai's 4-star would be a little bit better, but it is what it is. Multi-kill per tier, Woodland Spirits, fantastic. Absolutely what you want. You're also going to be running, you're basically, your whole thing when you're fighting for cards is multi-kill per tier, all stat, and AFK gains. You get those three things, you're basically cooking. Now, since we go over here, we got to see one thing. What are your chips looking like? Because now that it's brought to my attention, once again, we need to see your chips. This is chip rotation. This is not your character. There we go. Okay. Okay, so just can I see what you just have in your inventory here? Okay, here we go. So you have the keychain doubler. That's fantastic. If you have the nothing trophy, you replace the Silk Road process. Well, you need the Silk Road processor because that's going to be really good for your necklace, for your AFK gains. You want to run Omega Motherboard because you can double your card slot for either AFK gains or your multi-kill per tier, depending on Emperor or not. Definitely the same with for the same reason with the left slot, the top left and the bottom right. And then since you obviously don't have the nothing trophy, that is actually going to be replaced by a nano chip, which is going to be a respawn rate. Because usually what happens is it's either going to be nano chip or wood chip. You can decide, you can test the two to see which one scales better, but usually the nano chip will scale better than the wood chip. Okay, so and then you need to make sure that you have the AFK gain one with the 15% for combat. And I don't think you have that one, which is unfortunate. So basically, it's going to be the fighting AFK one, followed by the 2 card ones, coming in with the keychain one if you have a really good keychain. If not, you could probably just replace it with another mob respawn one. You're going to be doing the pendant one and probably the star sign one if you can. And then obviously you'll just have the other one is going to be the mob respawn. Unfortunately, all of your chips are really kind of codependent based off the gear that you have. Since you are missing the star sign one, which is unfortunate, you are missing the trophy one, but since you're probably not the owner of a nothing trophy, it really doesn't matter. It's only when you get the nothing trophy is when it actually starts becoming important. So you're basically, and you're also missing the fight AFK, but it says you have one. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so you do have one. That's fantastic. So looking at everything and keeping everything into consideration, I would say that if you changed all this stuff and you went in, I would say that you have the ability, as it sits right now, to hit maybe about 10 mil. If you just threw everything in and you min-maxed it, you could probably get about 10 mil. But if you do everything that I just told you to do, I could see you probably pushing about 22 to 25. I don't think you're quite at that place where you could hit like 50 because you just don't have the things that you need as it sits right now. Because your alchemy is just too low. You're not going to be able to hit the 51 times multi-kill and all that stuff. But if you basically do whatever basically the whole thing I said, I could see you easily hitting 20, 25, no problem. It's just going to take you a couple weeks and a couple love. But if you lock down and actually just get it done, you're going to be swimming in cash soon. But Gertraz, that's strongly what I would suggest. And honestly, you're on your way there. You're just missing a few tiny things to get yourself going. But other than that, you're on your way. You're ready to go. I guess I could also look at Mini Boss Death Note, but I mean, his Mini Boss Death Note, I mean, he's doing all right. He's got the multi-kill bonus by 15%, but I don't even have this, and I can hit in the 50s. So this isn't like, this is a nice thing to have, but I wouldn't say it's a necessity. It is multi-kill per tier though, so it is nice. But that's what I suggest. Good luck, Gertraz, and I hope anybody that was watching the YouTube, I hope it helps you out with maybe helping your Gmush farm. Make sure to like and subscribe, of course, and check out the other channels. Good luck, Gertraz, and good luck. Bye, YouTube.